Hola estudiantes, and welcome to Reflexive Verb Phrases. So today we're going to learn about putting reflexive verbs together with verb phrases, two concepts that you should be aware of. So the first thing we're going to review, the repaso, is verb phrases. When using a compound verb, that means using two verbs together. I like to call that a verb phrase. Conjugate the first one and leave the second as an infinitive. Example, quiero comer un Big Mac. The first one is conjugated, the second one is not. Ella va a bailar con su novio. Va is conjugated, bailar is not. Nosotros aprendemos a hablar español. The first verb is conjugated, the second one is not. ¿Tú puedes entender chino? You can understand Chinese. Puedes is conjugated, entender is not. So let's review reflexive verbs. So remember, reflexive verbs, they are things that you can do to or for yourself, or something that someone does to or for themselves. So levantarse, to get up. Remember, we take off the se and move it to the front. And then we conjugate our verb as normal. And then finally, you have to change the se to match the verb. Me levanto, I get myself up. Te levantas, se levanta. Nos levantamos, os levantáis, se levantan. Now that leaves us with a question. What happens when we combine these two things? Let's put them together into reflexive verb phrases. So the same rules still apply. If you're going to conjugate a reflexive verb, you take off the se and move it to the front before the first verb. Then you conjugate the verb, and then you change the se to match the subject. So I am going to take a bath. So we've got two verbs here. I am going and to take a bath. This is the verb ir. This is the verb bañarse. Me voy a bañar. So we took off the se and we moved it all the way to the front. You cannot split up these two verbs. Me voy a bañar. He wants to go to bed. Here we've got the verb querer and acostarse. Se quiere acostar. You have to wake up. To have to is tener que, and wake up is despertarse. Te tienes que despertar. So the pronoun is always going to go before that conjugated verb, whether there's one verb or two. The pronoun always goes before the conjugated verb. But if we have two verbs, there are actually two options. So if we only have that one verb, there's only one conjugated verb. So it has to go before the conjugated verb. Nos acostamos, se ducha, me baño, te levantas, se visten. But if you have two verbs, you have two options. I am going to take a bath. You can do it like normal, where we put the pronoun up front, me voy a bañar, or you can leave it at the end. You just change it to match the subject, voy a bañarme. So you can move the reflexive pronoun to the front, or you can attach it to the end of the infinitive. Notice that this is one word. So you cannot separate the verb phrase. The pronoun can go before the conjugated verb, or it can be attached to the end of the infinitive. Do not put anything in the middle of the phrase. So here's your two verbs. The pronoun can go here or here. It cannot go in the middle. We're going to get up. So it's got the verb ir and levantarse. Nos vamos a levantar. This underlined phrase is the phrase you don't want to split. Or vamos a levantarnos. They both are perfectly good Spanish. You want to go to bed. We've got the verb querer and acostarse. Te quieres acostar? Again, this is not going to get split up by anything. Or quieres acostarte. Let's practice. A practicar. Let's translate the sentence both possible ways. Write these down on your piece of paper. He can bathe himself. Now, instead of just waiting for me to tell you the answer, why don't you pause it and try these on your own? He can bathe himself. Se puede bañar or puede bañarse. We want to shower. Nos queremos duchar or queremos ducharnos. You're going to get dressed. ¿Te vas a vestir? Or vas a vestirte. There's one more little thing. This is very similar to what we just did, but the present progressive, that's the ando, yendo stuff, that is slightly different. It's almost the same. You can put the pronoun up front. Me estoy lavando. I am washing myself. Ellos se están poniendo. They are putting it on. Or you can attach it to the end. But notice you do have to add an accent to the ando or the y and yendo when you add a new syllable to the end. Estoy lavándome. Me estoy lavando. Estoy lavándome. Both are perfect. Ellos están poniéndose. Se están poniendo or están poniéndose. And if you care, I'm going to tell you real quick. If you forget this accent mark, that really should be pronounced ellos están poniéndose. But because we're changing where that natural stress falls, you have to write it in. If you forget this one, it's estoy lavándome. Because we're changing where that natural stress falls, you have to write it in. Let's practice. Translate it both ways. Write it on your paper. And again, pause it instead of just waiting for me to tell you the answer. He is bathing himself. Se está bañando or está bañándose with the accent there. We are taking a shower. Nos estamos duchando or estamos duchándonos. You are getting dressed. ¿Te estás vistiendo or estás vistiéndote? Notice that this is going to take that stem change. Your turn. Te toca a ti. Practice these on your paper. Go ahead and hit pause and try all 4 of these. Okay, I'm telling myself that you paused. He is taking a shower. ¿Está duchándose or se está duchando? She is going to shave. ¿Va a afeitarse or se va a afeitar? You are drying off, you being polite using usted. ¿Está secándose or se está secando? I am washing my face. ¿Estoy lavándome la cara? Me estoy lavando la cara. All right, practice these on your paper. I'm going to pause myself. You hit pause too. Okay, y'all need to go to bed. Necesitan acostarse or se necesitan acostar. We want to leave. Queremos irnos or nos queremos ir. She hopes to wake up early. Espera despertarse temprano or se espera despertar temprano. He has to leave. Tiene que irse or se tiene que ir. Okay. Muchísimas gracias por ver mi video.